Hello and welcome back to Typical City. Not the result we wanted, not the form we want right now as Manchester City fans. We don't need to panic, massively so. It isn't ideal, we aren't playing that well. There are some very intricate details I could go into as to why City aren't playing well, and that is a video for another day that will be coming. I will be going into more detail about what is going on with Manchester City on the pitch as a whole. You know, in more detail than this, but this is specifically the player ratings going into the details of the 3-3 game against Spurs at the Etihad Stadium yesterday. So let's have a look at the match stats. 55% to 45% possession. Second half is where that collapsed, really. I think in the first half, in fact, I can give you the exact figures in the first half. In the first half, Manchester City had 62% possession to Spurs' 38%, but in the second half, that collapsed and we ended up having 46% possession. So we did lose control of that game in the second half, which is very much unlike us. But what isn't unlike us is us becoming a team of two halves. We need to fix that. There's another narrative that's clear as day. You do not need to be a football expert to understand that isn't good enough. 17 shots in total, 4 of them on target. That's a ratio that isn't good enough. That is wasteful. That's all that is wasteful. And it's a huge factor into why we're dropping points right now. There's no two ways about it. You can't hide those stats. They're so basic to understand. And you don't need to overcomplicate it. That's what's happening. We're missing chances. Compared to Spurs, 50% of their shots were on target. So that's taking chances. The XG tells a frustrating narrative that we're familiar with. RB Leipzig had a higher XG than that, and they only scored 2 against us. I say only. We shouldn't be conceding 2 against RB Leipzig, and we shouldn't be conceding 3 with an XG of 0.46 from Spurs. But our XG, we overperformed slightly, but still a much more truthful XG you can see there with 2.57 for City. 4 big chances compared to Spurs' 572 passes to their 472, 14 fouls to their 14, and 4 yellow cards each. I'll get onto the referee another day, because, I will. I'll save that for another day. Let's start with Ederson at the back. Conceding 3 goals as a goalkeeper's on paper, that's a bad performance. I don't think he could have done too much about the goals. You're hoping maybe just could have made himself bigger for Son's goal. He got his fingertips to Lo Celso's goal. I mean, he's outstretched, making himself as big as humanly possible for that Lo Celso goal. Clips it onto the post, but it still finds itself in the back of the net. Nothing he could have done about Kulachevsky's goal. 88% passing accuracy, no key passes, 1 save, a high claim, 6 for Ederson, right bang in the middle for a goalkeeper, which is reasonable considering he's conceded 3 goals. Anyway, Kyle Walker, I thought he was all right. I thought he did reasonably well. I was much happier seeing him in that position as part of a back 3 at times, part of a back 2, instead of being that marauding fullback going down the right wing, putting him in defence, being the typical Kyle Walker performer that we know and we love as Manchester City fans. We saw the original Kyle Walker yesterday. He didn't make any mistakes that I can think of. I thought he was okay, solid enough when questioned. 94% passing accuracy, really good. 1 tackle, 3 interceptions, really good. A clearance, he wasn't dribbled past once, and 1 dribble attempt, which was successful. 7 for Kyle Walker. People are having a go at the City defence right now, and he certainly wasn't to blame for anything that went wrong yesterday. Kyle Walker. Same again for Ruben Diaz. I saw a lot of people criticising Ruben Diaz, and I think that's out of habit right now, because I'll agree he's been bang out of form. Completely agree with the people who've said he was poor against Chelsea, he was shocking against RB Leipzig. You got to recognise it as it is. People get into habits now, don't they? You get into the habit of saying certain things, and you're allowed to change your mind. People, we're allowed to change our mind. It's acceptable. You can do that, because he's been awful, Ruben Diaz, lately. Yesterday, he was not awful by any stretch of the imagination. He was outstretched for Lo Celso's goal. Nothing he could have done about that. He positioned himself from a chaotic moment from Alvarez's pass that gave it away, and I'll get onto that shortly. But his overall performance was a typical Ruben Diaz performance. I thought he was all right. 95% passing accuracy, good, not giving the ball away. 2 tackles, he wasn't dribbled past once, an interception, 4 big clearances, I remember them, good. I thought he was decent, he was all right. 7 out of 10 for Ruben Diaz. Akanji didn't impact the game as much as I would have thought, considering he was in midfield. a little bit sloppy with the ball here and there. Not his greatest performance. I mean, he's learning this role right now, Akanji, and I'm hoping he can find his feet quicker, because the quality difference between John Stones in midfield in that hybrid role compared to Akanji, it's noticeable, but not massively so. It's there. You can see that Stones is clearly better at doing this. Akanji's finding his feet right now and learning the role. He didn't play bad, but he didn't really have that much of an impact on the game. 88% passing accuracy, no tackles or interceptions, 3 clearances. 3 out of the 5 aerial duels were won. 1 shot wasn't on target. 6.5 for Manuel Akanji. Gvardiol is someone who's just not really... He's quite a difficult... Because he's not making horrible errors. He's not having terrible performances. He just looks... I feel like you can beat him quite easily. I feel like wingers are having a little bit of joy against him. Not too much, but I still feel like he could do better. He's a kid, he's so young. And it just baffles me that we've gone from this defence that was as solid as it was last season. Arguably, not even arguably, it was the best defence in European football last season, was Manchester City's, across all competitions. Champions League is obviously included in that. Then you go and add the youngest and the hottest prospect as a defender in European football to that defence, with only removing Emerick Laporte, and we're somehow worse. That's not Gvardiol's fault. I think it's circumstantial. I think these little details and little moments are starting to take shape and having an effect on the whole image of our defence right now. But still, I don't think Gvardiol has been bad. I just want to see a little bit more from him. He's finding his feet in a Manchester City side. I'm hoping he can find it a bit quicker, and hopefully the second half of the season can look a bit brighter for Gvardiol. 89% passing accuracy, 3 interceptions and 1 aerial duel, 6 out of 10 for Gvardiol. Nathan Ake, he came on for 11 minutes, and I think he's cost us that game. That one moment, all zeros, just cut to the chase, 100% passing accuracy. There was only 5 to talk of. The one stat there, 1 aerial duel, not 1. That has cost us the game. And those who know me and has been following me for more than a week will know that Nathan Ake is my favourite defender right now. And this season I've been saying nothing but positive things about Nathan Ake. Another reason why you can proving the fact that you can change your mind. A player can have 10 great games, doesn't mean their 11th game we can ignore them having a bad game. We don't do that on this channel. I don't do that on this channel. You're more than welcome to ignore things in your own time, but I will not be doing that on this channel, because Nathan Ake has cost us the game. He was planted flat-footed. Pep's even said it. I said it in the watch long. I said it in my match reaction. Then this morning I heard Pep's interview after the game, and he said exactly that. Exactly what I said was attack the ball. And as someone who is a defender and knows a little bit about defending and where to position yourself, that was schoolboy stuff. He planted his feet and waited for the cross. I said it in my match reaction. Pep's echoed my thoughts. You do not wait for the cross. The only player in that situation who attacked the ball was Kulachevsky, and he got the goal he deserved because Nathan Ake stood flat-footed and hoped that no one was coming in from behind him and waited for that ball. If he attacks that, he runs at that ball, gets his head on it. The trajectory of the cross was low. Clear it. Attack it and clear it. Waiting for it was a catastrophic error, and it's cost us 2 points. Big time. 5 out of 10 for Nathan Ake. Rodri. Again, if you've been following the channel for more than a week, you'll know that I was sticking the knife in against RB Leipzig. He was awful against RB Leipzig. I thought it was back to Rodri. Normal order has been resumed from Rodri. I thought he was all right, really good. I thought he was solid in midfield. Nothing fantastic to speak about. I thought there was a big tackle that got Jack Grealish's goal. He came up and he wanted that ball so aggressively. I think it was either Udogie or Emerson Royale, I think, was trying to bring the ball out. Rodri went, nah, you're not getting past me. Smashed him. Brilliant tackle. Ball breaks to Erling Haaland, who crosses it for Jack Grealish, tapping. All from Rodri. Brilliant play. Not just that moment, brilliant overall, I thought. I thought he kept things ticking really well. That passing accuracy is really good. Possession lost, 9, more than acceptable. 4 interceptions. He's reading the game again. 2 tackles, 2 shots, not on target. Needs to improve on that a little bit, because we have seen a very attractive attacking side to Rodri's game this season. That I want to see that coming back into play against, getting a few goals and assists again. But still, solid performance in midfield from Rodri, 7 out of 10. Phil Foden, that's the lowest man of the match performance I've given. I mean, I don't think anyone deserved more than a 7.5 yesterday. I don't think it was an overall bad performance from anybody, like from the team as a whole, sorry. individuals, there certainly were some shocking performances, but 7.5 for a man of the match performance doesn't, it shows that we weren't quite hitting the heights overall. 73 minutes played, 51 touches, 81% passing accuracy, could improve on that. He got himself a goal, of course, which massively helps. One key pass and interception, 2 shots, 1 on target, a clearance. He lost the ball 12 times. I thought he was decent, Phil Foden, yesterday. Kept the ball moving really well. He was lively. His touch was decent, showed little bits of skill, positional awareness. And, he couldn't really miss from there, but still getting into the box like that was decent. And like I say, got himself a goal, man of the match for Phil Foden for me. Bernardo Silva. Really shocking performance from Bernardo Silva. I said it in the watch along. I had no stats to back up what I was saying, but once again, my eyes have not deceived me because the stats this time back me up. Look at that possession loss, 28 times. What the fuck is that? Absolute shocker from Bernardo Silva. And again, who's followed me for more than a week will know that Bernardo Silva has been echoed like pure praise from me this season. Pure praise. I've had nothing but good things to say about Bernardo Silva this season. Yesterday, polar opposite. Very poor performance from Bernardo Silva. 79% passing accuracy as well. Dropping into the 70s. Not great. 3 key passes is decent. Can't hide away from that. That's decent. 4 dribble attempts. 1 was successful. 2 tackles. 1 big chance created as well. That's good. But losing the ball 28 times. He was so sloppy. So sloppy yesterday, Bernardo Silva. And a lot of our control in that second half collapsed around these moments that were 28 of them losing the ball. It was far from a typical Bernardo Silva performance. 5 out of 10 for him. Unlike him, bit disappointing. Moving on. Jeremy Doku, 6 out of 10 I've gone for. Didn't impact the game that well. I thought he was really unlucky. Could have been coming away with a goal. Smashing one off the bar and the post at the same time. 1 shot, mind you. Make it sound like 2 shots. It was 1 shot that hit the bar and the post. So unfortunate with that. Really, really good effort. But the dribbles attempts is surprising. That's not. We've been seeing normally 7 or 8 per game from Jeremy Doku. We saw more than that in about a 15-minute cameo in the Champions League the other week. 84% passing accuracy, 2 dribble attempts, and only 1 of them was successful. No key passes, although we should be giving him credit for his vision to find Alvarez in the box for our second goal. That was lovely vision. I don't know why that's not considered a key pass. This is what baffles me about these stats, because these aren't my own stats. I'm not making them up. These are from statistical providers, that provide these stats. And no key passes. Well, I'm sure one of them should be given to Alvarez, because that was a key pass to me. The definition of what is a key pass isn't an assist. It doesn't mean assist. It means a key pass into a dangerous area that creates an opportunity. To not give him a key pass in that situation seems harsh, but still, 0 key passes, apparently. 3 shots, 1 on target, big chances created, 0. Normally we see a little bit more from Doku. Not his greatest game. 9 times he lost the ball as well, but I think a 6 is fair for Doku. What a mixed bag from Julian Alvarez. What a mixed bag. A proper mixed performance. I thought there were moments where I thought he looked good. Got himself an assist. He created a big chance. He smashed the post with an unbelievable effort in the first half. Really unlucky not to get a goal in that situation. But that passing accuracy is too sloppy. Too sloppy, that is. 76%. 7 key passes. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Mixed. But his mistake was for the second goal. People are blaming Ruben Diaz for not getting across. You need to understand how it works as a defender. In that position, the ball was coming up. The defence was moving itself up the pitch. As soon as Alvarez tries that first-time pass round the corner to Erling Haaland, first of all, Haaland was caught on his heels. He should have been ready on that. He was caught on his heels. And I think it might have been Højbjerg who did the diving header to intercept Alvarez's pass. It was a poor ball from Alvarez. Haaland didn't help by not being ready to receive that ball either. So a combination of the two. Somehow Ruben Diaz is getting blamed for that. I don't know why. But Alvarez is massively to blame for their second goal, the Lo Celso goal, which he whipped into the bottom corner. But Alvarez is in a tough spot right now, and he's definitely going to be a talking point for the next video that I'm planning on doing. Come and watch that. Tune in if you want to find out what's going on with City right now, because I'm going to go into a little bit more detail as to what is actually happening right now. Why are we in this strange vein of form? Because I do think it's strange. I don't think it's really that bad. I don't think we've played that badly, other than the first 45 minutes. Against RB Leipzig, we were shocking against them. Against Chelsea, we conceded too many chances, but we were all right in attack, weren't we? We were creating a bag full of chances. Against Liverpool, we dominated that game for 60 minutes. And then it's just like one little silly moment, and it's frustrating. What's going to happen in terms of the video, I will go into that, and Alvarez is going to be a key talking point in that as well. But 6 out of 10 for Alvarez yesterday, a really mixed performance from him. Erling Haaland, not good enough. Not good enough. Let's go straight to the chase. Too many big chances are being wasted. Apparently only one was considered a big chance. How they determine these statistical providers what a big chance is and what a big chance isn't. Do you know what I mean? Because I consider at least 2 of them big chances. One that it was almost on the penalty spot and he smashed that over the bar. And the other one with a more or less open goal that he puts wide. I imagine that's the big chance that he's missed. 5 shots, none on target. That is Erling Haaland's worst performance in a Manchester City shirt. I'm convinced. His worst performance. 5 aerial duels, only one was won. 2 key passes, okay. 80% passing accuracy, that's all right. That's good. 7 times he lost the ball, not bad, but he's in the goals business, Erling Haaland. That's his role in the team, you know. And we've got to highlight what their jobs are, not just passing accuracy or just possession or aerial duels. It's the full package. I know you want to look at certain details for certain players, and if that's the case, then you've got to look at finishing and putting it in the back of the net for Erling Haaland. And he failed miserably at doing that yesterday, and it's cost us. It's cost us big time, because if he puts in even one of them in the first half, we dictate that game from then on out. That's the game won. You know, if we take a 2-goal advantage into that second half, we just knock it about and play our game and win the game most likely. And it's cost us. You know, it's cost us. So 5 out of 10 for Erling Haaland. Jack Grealish coming off the bench, I thought he was good. Really good, a lively performance. He equalled Jeremy Doku's dribbling statistics with 2 attempts, with only 1 completed. That's exactly the same as Jeremy Doku in half the amount of time. 1 shot, 1 on target, ends up in the back of the net. A goal for Jack Grealish. 1 key pass, 83% passing accuracy is decent. 1 block shot, getting back, typical Jack Grealish. He doesn't mind defending, does he? 1 block shot, 6 times he lost the ball. It was a nice cameo. It was good to see Jack Grealish back, and it's such a shame that we can't be talking about Jack Grealish winner. It's such a shame, because that celebration, you could tell he's been struggling for a vein of form himself lately. Doku's lighting up Manchester City. He's lighting up the Premier League right now, and Jack Grealish probably feels a little bit in the shadow of Jeremy Doku this season. Coming on, getting what should have been the winner would have been a real nice moment for City and for Jack Grealish, and it's such a shame that it really wasn't in the end. Disappointing from a personal perspective for Jack Grealish, but I don't think he needs to walk away with his head held too low. You know, good performance in that 38 minutes from Jack Grealish, 7 out of 10. Kovacic, I mean, that's a stinker, that, isn't it? What a pretty poor cameo compared to Jack Grealish. 11 minutes, 3 touches. And he gave the ball away twice out of those 3 touches. 33% passing accuracy. I mean, I still think Kovacic needs to be given a lot of time, but he's not standing himself in any good stead or putting himself in a nice positive light for Manchester City fans to talk positively about, with 11 minutes of very lacking in quality like that. I mean, it wasn't much time, but give him time. I think we need to give him more time than 11 minutes here and 20 minutes there. He needs to get 5 or 6 games of 90 minutes per game, and then we'll understand what Kovacic is about and his value to this team. But as of right now, he's struggling. He is struggling right now. Rico Lewis, you can say the complete opposite. I think he's starting to look like someone who should be knocking on the door for every starting 11 for Manchester City right now. He's that good right now. He's showing so much form that he is bringing into question who can he play instead of, because he's such a live wire in that midfield, and the quality is there for all to see. 17 minutes, 15 touches, 91% passing accuracy. In 17 minutes, he had a key pass, an interception. He created a big chance. He attempted 1 dribble and he completed it. 2, possession lost. 17 minutes is only the time that he's on the pitch, so I can't give him more than a 6.5 for such a small amount of time on the pitch. To be honest, if you give him playing like that, if he keeps those standards, plays 80 minutes, you're looking at a man of the match performance, a game-winning performance potentially. Should he be starting against Villa? I think so. With Rodri's absence, I think so. And it's really frustrating what we're going to have to do now at Aston Villa. And I have every belief that City are going to treat this like a rocket up the arse that's going to turn us into a hopeful... I'm hoping that we can turn this into a real momentum swing now. Just this real frustration that we saw walking off the pitch. Haaland's frustration with the referee is probably more to do with himself. He has every right to be annoyed with the referee, absolutely, but he should also be looking himself in the mirror and going, I had a stinker as well. So I think his frustrations were with some of his own actions as much as it was the referee. But I think we'll turn this around. I really believe we'll turn this around because I'm not seeing that many glaringly bad performances. Here and there, you're seeing like a Bernardo Silva stinker. You see a Rodri stinker against RB Leipzig. Same about Ruben Diaz. But as a collective, we're not playing terrible. We're not playing brilliant, but we're not playing terrible collectively. And it will start to... We're just oiling the machine at the minute. We're oiling it and we're third. 3 points off top. It's not the end of the world right now. We can turn this round. And I'm hoping we turn it around against Villa. I have a good feeling against Villa that we're going to win. And it's going to be a real stepping stone or a springboard to create some momentum going forward. But what do you think? Get your comments in below. What do you think about the player ratings? Who do you think stood out playing poorly? Was anyone standing out to play well? What do you think overall? What's going wrong right now with Manchester City? Get your comments in below. I really want to hear them. Like and subscribe. Typical City is the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now.